What is going on, everyone? It is Rob and Jonny, and we are here with episode 14 of MMArcade, I think.
Yep, 14. It's good that we've reached a point where we have to, we're taking that microsecond longer to remember what episode we're up to.
I'm having to look it up.
We're still in the early stages. Yeah, we're still in the early stages of the program, but
absolutely,
I'm very, very excited.
It's been a big week, man.
Deep.
Across UFC, MMA, and video games, there's just been so much news.
It has, especially since the last couple of weeks have been a bit kind of grabby with trying to fill the slots up, trying to fill the segments up. In saying that, though, the episode's still routinely going well over that hour mark.
100%.
So
yeah,
I know one of us can gab.
No matter what we're talking about, if it's a game, one of us care about it at pretty much all times. Yeah. We cover the gambit.
Yeah.
But today we're going to be starting off doing a recap of UFC 289. We'll be doing some predictions of Fight Night and a bunch of game news. We had the Xbox Game Showcase, the Ubisoft Forward. There were also other showcases, but forgive us, we can't cover everything. There's so many announcements.
And there were a lot of fights, but we can't cover all of them.
Correct. Yeah. If there were any other fights, by the way, Rob, we have our notes here, but if you want to talk about it, feel free. But let's start off with UFC 289 recap. We'll start off with the main event. Amanda Nunes versus Irene Aldana. What do we say about this one, Rob? I think it went as we all expected.
Well, we did. We saw more or less what was said in the last week's episode about just that hungry Amanda coming to state her claim, to stomp and to put a mark on the history books. And this is almost a memorial, not a memorial. It's an iconic moment for Amanda, this fight that has just passed, because she did retire. She did retire after this fight. She is hands down the greatest women's combat athlete the world has ever seen. And she left no stone unturned. This fight, Amanda Nunes versus Irene Aldana, was exactly what we expect to see from Amanda Nunes, which she provides just about every single time she steps in there. Absolutely, from the starting bell to the finishing bell, dominant performance. She mixed up her punches really well. She put a pace on the aggressiveness. And honestly, you could see Amanda commanding the respect from with her shots in such a way that Irene started becoming gun shy. She didn't want to, she just wasn't unloading her shots. And I feel like that really stems from people want to fight Amanda because she's the champ. She's got the gold, and they want to fight her until they're in there with her. Then they're like, you know what? I was cool fighting number 6 because the level gap is just huge, don't you think?
It's massive. Dude, look at the scorecards, right? I got them in front of us. 50-44, 50-44, 50-43. Just almost a complete clean sweep, but some of those rounds went 10-8 as well. I think it went the way everyone expected, and Amanda Nunes retires on top. And from what I saw, no more. In which division that she's pretty much retired? That she was the champ, and now it's no longer a thing.
Yeah,
that is gone.
Did you see that? Did you see Pena trying to jump in there?
I saw.
I was like, stop. Oh, man.
I don't know what she was doing, bro.
Who controlled? Who was psyching her up?
Honestly, man. Honestly.
It's not. Yeah, it's one of those things. But in saying that, I guess she was just trying to make a moment of it. Amanda, congratulations on such a dominant career. Yeah. Rest easy. You have done it all. You've left no stone unturned. Double champ. The greatest women's combat athlete to have ever lived.
Yeah. Goodbye, featherweight division is the one that I was trying to think of. And maybe, Rob, maybe atom weight. Maybe we can bring in a new weight class for the women, because there's just there's not really that much talent at the upper end for featherweight, as we saw, after Nunes took the title.
Well, the level difference was just so great.
Yeah.
It's she wasn't just physically gifted. It was it was the fact that she was physically gifted, so she was stronger. She had, you can see she's a thicker girl. She can see her body is built for performance. She has that real athletic body. And then you add the fact that she has great striking, she has great chin, she has great wrestling, she has great jiu-jitsu, and you've just, in a division with women's combat sports, the depth is just not there yet, not to that caliber. No. And as well with the women mixed martial artists, a lot of them sometimes are super highly skillful and talented, but just don't have the physique, and vice versa. Yeah. You know, and it is what it is. Her leaving the division, leaving the sport, I should say, is going to leave a massive power vacuum. And I'm very interested to see the bloodbath that is going to ensue.
It's going to be interesting, to be honest. Like, now everyone's going to be chomping at the bit to get the title. I assume Pena will get the title shot against, I don't know who would get it next.
Mate.
But it's going to be a very, very interesting division after her retirement.
Yeah, it's up for grabs. All the women know this. Like, all the contenders know this. There's going to be vacant belts, and that can only excite and fuel all the other women athletes. So I am
for sure.
I am happy for Amanda's career and her retirement. She's done it all, but also excited for the future of the divisions because, like I said, there's just going to be a massive power vacuum in the space that she's left.
Yeah, 100%. And next up, the one that everyone was talking about, really, Charles Oliveira, Beneil Dariush. Rob, we got it wrong,
mate. So wrong, and I am flabbergasted because, you know, and to my defense, there was left, right, center. You go on YouTube, you go on the social medias, you see a lot of people, hey, Charles didn't get dropped this fight. Hey, Charles didn't get this. You know what I mean? Everybody else was in the same boat, just with the way Charles walks forward and marches into that mid-range. He's liable to get hit, and he gets dropped a lot of his fights. But we didn't see that happen in this fight. I don't know. If I'm going to be perfectly honest, I feel like we didn't see Dariush. We didn't see the Beneil Dariush that fought his way to that fight.
Yeah. We barely saw a round. And like some would have argued that, you know, Beneil, even before this Oliveira fight, deserved the title shot. And I still think he did, to be fair. But we are still talking about Oliveira. He was dominant for that period for a reason. And obviously lost against Makhachev, who's an incredible fighter. That's probably the next fight to make next. And Dariush just, I don't know, maybe it was just Oliveira's day. Maybe on another day in another universe, as we've talked about before, Rob, it could have gone to Dariush, and I don't know. I'm just sad. Mate. I'm just sad for him. I really am.
So am I. He's a good dude. Honestly, I didn't have any horse in the race just because. But you see that little pun there, because Charles, you know, rides trots as well. But regardless, Charles and Beneil, like, I feel that he's not the Beneil Dariush we saw fight his way to that Charles Oliveira fight. It's, I don't know, it was different. I feel that Charles starting with that head kick right out of the gate, and Dariush just caught it on his glove, but his glove was against his head. I think that set a pace. That was also the technique that led into the TKO, was that right head kick. And it was clean, it was fast, but that could have done something to Beneil straight away, because we didn't really see a lot of stand-up. But from that head kick, we I don't know. You know, that was in one of the opening moves. It could have rattled him a little bit. But, I don't know what Dariush that was that showed up. There wasn't a champion performance. So,
no.
You know, congrats to Oliveira. But let me say this, mate. Charles was pushing him up against the fence. He was getting in a lot of that fence work, and it looks like he pulled him off the fence. Such a dangerous technique to pull someone off the fence for that lateral throw or that trip. He pulled him off the fence and landed in guard. No matter how good you were doing, when you're on your back and Beneil is throwing punches and elbows on you, you're losing every second nearabouts. You're on your back. Yeah, I've seen other captions and blogs saying Beneil got disheartened from not getting any work in on Charles. That's not how it works. From Dariush getting morale getting broken because he couldn't use his guard. That's not how it works. Okay, Dariush was landing shots. He was in a comfortable position. If he was rattled from the kick, which I do not know, he was recovering. He was controlling it. It looked like he was controlling it. When you're on your back in MMA, you're losing. Period.
Yeah.
Okay. Period. Except for the odd percentages. Okay?
I was going to say, did you see that random clip floating around the other week where that boxer knocked the dude out when he was on his back? That's like the one time I've seen that ever happen.
Really? Well, as well as Kevin Holland knocked Jacare out off his back.
Yeah, that's right.
It happens. Like, excluding those guys are the exception, not the standard. 100%. Okay? You're losing. And Charles did a good job of getting up. It looked like he paced himself and then, bam, landed another right head kick, finished the fight. Yeah, mate, Charles surprised me. He surprised me. I didn't expect that. But Oliveira is so good at...
So good, dude.
Getting better. Every fight, he just goes back to the work drawing board, gets better, comes back in with some new tools or some sharp skill sets or a new headspace. Mate, so congratulations to him. I am excited to see him go up against
Makhachev, right?
Makhachev for the second time, I think.
It's going to be interesting to see that second fight for sure. And then where does that leave Dariush? Like, does he fight the loser of Poirier and Gaethje after they fight for the BMF title?
Is that actually happening? I thought that was...
I swear it was. I saw. Is that 291? They are fighting at 291. I can't remember if it actually was.
Who's fighting for the... Who is it fighting for the BMF title?
Gaethje and Poirier, right?
Poirier for the BMF title. Like...
I swear to God they are. I swear to God that they are.
I heard a bunch of stuff, and I heard like Makhachev saying like...
It is. I was right. Stupid. Yeah. Poirier and Gaethje.
It's so stupid. Why is that a thing? And why is it still floating around?
Did you see that video or the interview between Makhachev and Cormier? It was if you could find it on Twitter, people watching, watch it.
Is that the one where Makhachev saying, "I don't want the stupid title"?
Yeah, he's like, "What is this? What is this bullshit?" He's so funny, bro. Such a funny dude.
So silly.
I know what it is. Makhachev just has this comedy about him.
He is surprisingly funny, isn't he?
I kind of like Nurmagomedov. I always thought he was a pretty funny dude. Like every time,
super dry humor.
Every time he called Ferguson, "Hey, sunglasses," I burst out into laughter consistently every time. But Cormier and Makhachev were doing an interview or a chat, and Cormier brought up the BMF title. Makhachev just laid into it. Like, what is this? It was as
he should, because it is a silly thing. It is a silly thing. But they're the two main fights we wanted to cover in UFC 289. But there is one more fight I want to bring to light.
Go on.
And also apologize, okay? Because I tipped against him, not realizing he was true blue across the seas. Okay, and that is Steve Erceg.
Okay,
Erceg. Steve Erceg. Astro Boy, okay? Late notice, came in and fought one of the top 10 flyweights of the world. Top 10. Smashed him. Stellar performance. Got performance of the night. Mate, and he's an Aussie. I didn't know he was an Aussie. He wasn't on my radar. He wasn't in the talks. He wasn't... Where did he even come from? But he went up there on the big stage, late notice, top 10 flyweight, put in some stellar work, mate. He made it look easy. He made it look like he had prepared his entire life for that one fight and for that one moment. And that's it. He saw an opportunity and took it. So congratulations to him. He is, obviously he's a top 10 fighter now in the UFC. That is unreal.
Yeah. I'm just checking it now. 10-1 now. And because he's Aussie, we have to support him by default.
Mate, definitely. I didn't, but again, I told you I tipped the other guy because it was a short notice fight, and I had no idea who Erceg was. Like, he just came out of nowhere. Oh man. But yeah,
That's
congratulations to Steve. Like that is phenomenal. It's great to have some more True Blues up there, just smashing people.
Absolutely. And that was UFC 289. Next up, we've got another predictions for a fight night this weekend. Rob, both fighters you've fought before in the main event. I'm very keen to get your opinion. Marvin Vettori, Jared Cannonier. All right. Lay it out for me. What do you think? You know these guys better than anyone out there.
I do, and I am really stumped on how this fight's going to go out, play out. I feel both guys. I just have a feeling this fight's not going to be super high output. I think they're both going to have really a lot of respect for each other. I feel like they counter both guys. They counter each other really quite well. So Marvin Vettori wants to bully his opponents. He wants to get in their face, bully him, box him up, take him down. I don't think he's going to be able to do that to Jared because Jared's like he's just too powerful. I think he's too well rounded. He's going to be ready for that. But I don't think Jared's explosiveness and big shots are going to be enough to stop Vettori, to put him away, to push Vettori back.
Yeah.
Mate, if I had to put a pin to this,
flip a coin, Rob.
If I had to put a pin to this, I think Jared will win by decision because I can see him landing effective shots, good kicks, good punches, and kind of stopping Vettori from moving forward, stopping Vettori from getting in there and turning it into a dogfight, which he loves so much.
So that is your confirmed prediction.
Yeah,
you're not sitting on the fence. Cannonier.
No, I think Cannonier wins by decision. I do. That's I don't think it's going to be a super high output fight, but
yeah,
it's hard. It's also hard because you look at the fights they had previously. So we're Vettori versus Dolidze.
Yeah,
that fight that wasn't your standard Vettori fashion. That was a very different Vettori we saw in that fight. It wasn't super high output. It wasn't super flashy or super fly. It was, it was just a good fight. But and before that it was myself and then Cannonier fighting Sean, and then Adesanya before that. It's just hard to see which version's going to show up and what the styles together are gonna make. I think
I don't know either, bro. It's really, really hard to call, and especially because I wouldn't say either of them from the previous fight that they had are standing out so much where you're like, yeah, this guy has the momentum. Both came off a loss to win from decision. I can't call it. I genuinely can't call this one. I would flip a coin and I would say Vettori if I was going to go with anyone.
Really?
Yeah.
Because Cannonier couldn't put Sean away.
I like Vettori. I think he's a pretty strong dude. Bro, I don't far out. I'm gonna say Vettori. I want to say
Cannonier looks like a specimen.
I know he does, but that doesn't mean that's not everything. You can look jacked. If Vettori's a strong dude as well. He's a pretty jacked dude.
Yeah. And in Jared's last couple of fights, he's gone back to back. He's gone back to back 5-rounders, right? Marvin's coming off a 3-rounder.
Yeah.
Cannonier,
do you think that's going to matter much though?
Oh, I think he's going to be more conditioned mentally for 5 rounds, or he could be a little tired, to be honest, because 5 rounds suck.
Yeah.
There's so much work. That extra 10 minutes is so much. It is so long. But what I'm saying is that Cannonier sets a level, he sets a pace, and he doesn't really drop off in the 4th and 5th. We don't really see a sharp decline in the 4th and 5th. Not that we ever have with Vettori either. But, he's coming off a 3-round fight. So I think that would be Vettori's mainstay on how to beat Cannonier would be to try and push a pace, slow him down, get him sluggish, take some power out of his arms, and then start to capitalize on that in your 3, 4, 5s. Cannonier, I don't think is going to drop off enough for him to be able to do that. I don't think Vettori will be able to get in enough to gas Cannonier out like that, because I think Cannonier is going to he's going to demand too much respect with his power, with his shots.
Yeah. So you're definitely going with Cannonier for this one.
I think so, by decision.
But yeah, I was going to say I don't see either guy knocking each other out. Like I think it is going to go decision as well. Maybe it'll be split. I literally flipped the coin in my head. So let's go Vettori for myself, Cannonier for Rob. It's going to be I'm so interested how your division plays out. Really, I am, because the winner of this and the winner of you and Drickus. It's exciting. It's an exciting year.
It is. There are some good fights to be had, and some uncertain matchmaking still open to air. So
absolutely,
yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited too. I'm excited for my own fight in bit over 3 weeks now.
Are you serious? Is it seriously 3 weeks? Like I swear, the other week it was 9 weeks away. That is insane. Yeah. Time is flying by.
Bit over 3 weeks. Time's flying by for you, not me. I'm sitting here hungry, dude. I'm hungry.
Every day is a lifetime.
I'm draining. But we're getting there, and I'm super excited. Super excited to get over to Vegas and to stand across from Drickus, Duplessis, and get to work, earn some money,
for sure,
show off me new skill set, and just live a little.
Yeah. Well, let's see how this weekend goes, and obviously we'll be back next week to cover the results from that. But now we've got some game news. Rob, it's been a really damn busy week. We had, I don't know, I think there were like 7, 8 different showcases. Some of them were like smaller scale indie showcases. Other ones were much bigger. Today we're going to be talking about the main Xbox Games Showcase. There was an extended one too, but we'll talk about the main one. And the Ubisoft Forward. Pretty much encapsulated a lot of the AAA games that have been announced or showcased over the past week. And first one in the Xbox Game Showcase, one that you're a fan of, Rob.
Out of the gate.
Fable.
Out of the gate.
Out of the gate. They started off strong. I thought I was looking at CGI when I saw this Fable trailer, but apparently everything was in engine in that showcase.
Mate.
Looking cool.
And it looks amazing.
Yeah, it does. It does.
Like, I don't know if you're a big fan of that sort of fey magic and that sort of comedy, satirical, sort of like a bit grouchy, bit offensive. I've always really loved it. That style of comedy, of offensiveness, of in your face. I've loved the mystical nature of Fae and their silly rules and like the things they have to do to, the rules of the Fae, which is a thing in itself. I'm not going to break those down now, but it looks so good.
I'll admit, for me, the comedy and just the vibe is a little bit offbeat, but I know how good Fable games are, and I think I will definitely give this a go. The thing that I'm not very clear on yet is where this Fable sits in regards to the previous games. Is this a reboot? Like, it's just called Fable. So is this going to be like their way of bringing in new fans into the franchise? I like when they do this. Yeah. Hopefully,
like starting a new Fable series.
100%.
Get it?
Yeah, like they're doing with Mortal Kombat.
I wouldn't hate that. I would not hate that. No better time, no better engines than right now.
100%
to run it on. And one thing I am a little, I do want clarified is whether or not we have to play as a girl.
Okay.
It's not because obviously the character in the trailer was a girl, and it's not something they've ever done before. They let you pick your gender generally at the beginning, so I assume you can make it however which way you want.
I assume it would be like there's in a few games that I've seen that have allowed you to play as different genders. In a lot of the marketing, they'll go one way or the other based on whatever decision, and then in the game itself you choose. Yeah, you need one. They did the same with Fallout 4, if you remember. They decided to Bethesda started to market the guy first, and then there was one trailer with the female, and then obviously you can pick whatever when you end up playing the game. Yeah. So they just need to make.
And all the other games had you can name yourself because they all call you hero anyway. And so I really like the premise. I cannot wait for it to launch.
For sure. We had some of the other games that we're not going to talk about too much. We'll just pass on. There was South of the Midnight trailer from the creators of We Happy Few. That's going to be a very interesting game. But the next big title that was announced, secret one, Star Wars Outlaws, new Ubisoft original after they picked this up from Lucasfilms. Bro, this was also showcased a lot in the Ubisoft Forward with a bit of a gameplay trailer. This was insane. I thought this looked so cool. I really liked the Star Wars, like Rogue One, and like you know what I mean, where it's like this mischievous rogue character, an outlaw, a bit of a bounty hunter going around and having crazy adventures in the Star Wars universe. That's what this seems like, and it looks really good. I'm very much excited for Outlaws.
It does. It seems like 2023, sorry, is the year of open world. Like it seems that every second game is opening their world for exploration and item gathering and crafting, because Outlaws has done it as well. And I think this one your character locked into a person.
It's the one character, I think. From the feeling of it, it's the one character in the story that they're trying to portray. But it looked really cool. Like when they went, they were on the planet, or she was on the planet, and they flew off into space in the spaceship. That looked sick. That was such a cool moment.
Seamless transition from the planet into orbit into space. So that was cool. Cool.
Definitely looking forward to that one. And then we had a cool little game. I don't know if you remember it, Rob, 33 Immortals. It was the one where you can play co-op with 33 or 32 other people and just go through. It was a top-down isometric game, and I think the art was like a little bit more basic. It looked a lot of fun, just being able to play with 32 other people. Looked sick.
Yeah, it looked like chaos.
It looked like insane. I don't know if did you ever play like the Tetris game where you could play with a bunch of other people, and the Super Mario one as well on Nintendo Switch. They're always crazy. I had a lot of fun with them when they were available to play anyway. Next game we had Payday 3. I'm not a fan of Payday. I wasn't impressed with the trailer. I will say that. I thought it didn't look like the highest fidelity game out there.
I agree, and honestly, it looked like Payday 2.
I was like, is this a Payday 2 expansion?
I was like, what was different? Show me, like, you know, it's, I don't know. I feel like you're given that time slot to really make an impact on why this one is better than the last one. So open your wallets up. And honestly,
failed to do it for me as
well. I don't think they 100% delivered on that, but you know, games aren't always, you know, based on their launch time slot. The first launch trailer.
Yeah, and they're not always for everyone. Like I think Payday is just going to be one of those games. It's just probably not for me.
Those heist sort of games. What's that other one on PlayStation? I've never really gotten into.
Nah.
The heist type games.
Yeah.
What's that other one?
I want to have to search one.
The other
heist video game.
Watch Dogs.
Payday 2, Perfect Heist, Thief Simulator. There's a few of them. Technically, Grand Theft Auto.
I think it was Watch Dogs. I think Watch Dogs and Payday were like, they're like almost direct competitors. But Yep. Cool.
Next game we had. Look, I'm not a big fan of Persona. There was a few different Persona games. This one was Persona 3 Reload. Rob, are you a fan of Persona?
I've played Persona 5. I have. A lot of Persona 5. Like, I don't know. It was just like one session of sittings where I just got really into Persona 5, and I didn't mind it. I think it was the anime that kept me, if I'm going to be honest. The combat's kind of really, I don't know, big numbers.
Yep.
Flashy, a little bit silly sometimes, and that couldn't keep me. But I've heard by all accounts that Persona 3 is one of the best in the series. So for them to be relaunching Persona 3 is going to make Persona is one of those games that has a cult following.
Yeah, you're 100% right. And then the same with we'll mention it now, Persona 5 Tactica. That was also announced as well. What I think, hope like maybe Xbox is trying to go for here is that they've always had an issue breaking into the Japanese market, and I feel like focusing so hard with Atlus, every other trailer it seemed to be Atlus, the publisher. I think this is their way of doing that by getting Persona games onto Game Pass. I think it's pretty clever.
Yeah. Persona 3 has a very, very strong. Persona has a very strong cult following. I think it's because it's almost like a. What's it called? Romance novel, sort of like a light novel, like romance, dating simulator in the same context as like a combat game. Cause like there's obviously romance and you talk to a lot of characters, pick your choices, get your decision base. It's almost like a dating simulator, like in one. And, obviously the animations and the anime effects and the fact you're playing anime characters around Japan. You got your following. Tactica, on the other hand, looks like a straight up mobile game. And I'm a big fan of those type of games. I love tactics games. So Final Fantasy Tactics, one of my favorite games of all time. No, is my favorite game of all time because that was my go-to game back in the day. That was very similar, but very, very different in a sense as well. Tactica looks like a mobile game. That's all I can say.
Yeah, hell yeah. Next up, man, Obsidian's Avowed. We have been waiting and waiting for actual gameplay of this game. And a few people, I say a few, there was a lot of people out there, Rob, that were a little disappointed, maybe is the best word, only because when we first saw that trailer of Avowed, it looked like Elder Scrolls, as in big open world, huge expansive game. This is what Avowed was going to be. The gameplay was like the art style was not like high fidelity. It was a little bit more cartoony, I guess is the way that you can put it. And after chats with the devs, this is going to be more like the size of Outer Worlds, which was a much smaller game. And if you actually think about it, Obsidian, they're doing so many titles, doing Avowed, they just did Pentiment, they're doing Outer Worlds 2, and they don't have that many devs. So I don't know what else we were actually expecting. This is probably what we should have expected from Avowed, but I think people after that first trailer thought something completely different. Yeah,
and I definitely think we should have made the correlation with Outer Worlds. Just because of how Outer Worlds launched and just because of the world size and the actual freedom you had in it. Yeah. It was a much smaller but compacted experience. Yeah. And I don't know. Honestly, I was on the fence because I really am. I'm not one to get excited for things until I can hold them. I don't like that feeling of wanting something and not being able to get it straight away. Yeah. So I haven't been on the I expect this from Avowed. So you know what? If we get something, because Outer Worlds was a great game. Outer Worlds was a great game, and Outer Worlds 2, I can only expect to be even better. So Avowed, might scratch our fantasy itch for that style of games. It might be an Outer Worlds like medieval fantasy type esque. Experience.
Yeah, it's going to be, I'm going to definitely play it. I'm still excited for it. I can understand people's, I guess, surprise, but again, given Obsidian and the size of their studio, we shouldn't really have expected anything bigger. Certainly, we shouldn't have expected anything close to the size of even Skyrim. So let's see how that one does. Next up, Rob, Sea of Thieves, The Legend of Monkey Island. We're only talking about this because you kids love Sea of Thieves.
And because I got a couple of things to say on it. Okay, Sea of Thieves is not a game. It's not a game. It's a lifestyle.
Don't say
it's a lifestyle, bro. If you want to get good at Sea of Thieves, do you know how much work you have to put in? Like, oh my goodness, I cannot explain to you
You're not selling me on it.
How much
You're
work.
not selling me.
It's so hard. It's such a hard game, dude.
Yeah.
I remember playing with my son and like trying to sail the whole ship by myself to go where we need to go. Like I run to the mast and I raise the mast and I run to the steering wheel and I turn the steering wheel. Then I run to this, and then he sees a ship, loads a cannonball, and fires on him. And there's like 6 blokes over there. There's 6 blokes over there that are just like all teammates, veterans of the sport. And they just start absolutely hammering us. And it's a hard game. That's all I'm trying to say.
But you know what? That's the problem, bro.
It's a funny game.
Right now, see, if it has a decent sized community, don't get me wrong. But at this stage, it really is the hardcore player playing it that have played it for so long and they're really good. That's the problem with a lot of these games that do happen to be PvP. Because when you go in there, fresh faced, you don't know what you're doing, you get your ass handed to you. It's inviting because it looks colorful and fun, but then that's what happens.
Yeah. And like I said, it's another game with a cult base. There's like this, and that's all they play every day with their crewmates and their friends. Yeah. That's all they do because they're trying to like get booty and caches and dig up treasure, and there's routes you run. Like I tried looking it up to really get into it with my son. Yeah. And I just couldn't, like, it was Fair enough. As a new player trying to break into it, it was a nightmare.
Well, look, you existing fans of Sea of Thieves, if you're a fan of Legend of Monkey Island, you've got that coming your way this year. Next up.
And you get it. And you get it. Yeah, they get where I'm coming from because they're the ones that shot me. Like
you watching this podcast.
Yeah, you get it.
Next up, we've got Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024. When this first popped up, Rob, I thought this was like Air and Rescue expansion for the previous game because they focused so hard on that in the beginning parts, and then it started to expand out to way more things. Looked cool.
And on the drones. I thought I was like watching a trailer for Metal Gear Solid. I was like, what's going on? Because like there was so many drones and everything else.
It's a bit strange.
Are you a fan of the Flight Simulator games?
Nah, I've never been into Flight Simulator. I struggle to get the appeal of it. I'll say that. I know why, like very loosely, why people love it, but in terms of me getting in and enjoying it, I just don't think I could.
There is a certain level of I don't know what the feeling is or what the word is I'm looking for but when you're flying over a place you've been to and you can, because the maps are so well done, like you can see places you've gone to, and just like they also have Truck Simulator, right? It's the same thing. Like you're going through towns you've been to and you can recognize, and it's a surreal feeling playing a video game and seeing and making those connections with the places you've been, you know, in real life. It's a cool experience. Okay. It's a cool experience, but not one enough to catch my attention for too long.
Nah, same here. Next up, we have, I don't know but if you ever played Senua's Saga or Senua Hellblade 2 is the one that's coming out this year. I played the previous Hellblade, and it's not a long game, but I stopped playing it like 30 minutes before the end. It is really, really disturbing. Is not the right, unsettling is the word that I'm thinking of. Did you ever play the previous Hellblade?
No, I didn't.
It's pretty much this story. This is a very bad description of it. It's from what I remember. But this girl,
lay it on me.
This girl has like voices in her head. She's going on this journey and blah 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 blah. And the whole game is like of her trying to fight these voices in her head. And the way they do it, Rob, if you're wearing a headset, they're like speaking your right ear and then your left speaker, and they're like surrounding you. And it's just I get shivers. And then I just wasn't enjoying it. Like it wasn't it's less of a video game and more of an experience. And because of that, I can see why people liked it, but I just didn't. And then this, it was very highly regarded too, but it just didn't vibe with me. And then the trailer for Hellblade 2, it was just one big CGI, one big cutscene. That's for what I feel is the next game is going to be as well. I don't know. I'm not feeling it.
You did not sell that to me at all. I want to stay clear of that. Senua's Saga. I'm going to stay very, very clear of that one.
Watch a review if you're at all like curious to see if I got it right because I played it years ago and I didn't finish it. So it was probably a very bad description. And it has a cult following, but it's not for me.
We're going to see in the comments below just people going off like, Johnny, what do you talk about? That was a difference of the game.
Description.
That was art. Just like, whatever.
That's what people say it is art. Yeah. Nah, not for me. Not for me. Next up, so a very quick one. They did I thought it was going to be something completely different when they had the trailer for this. Fallout 76, I thought, Rob, that we were going to get a trailer for, because you know how there's a next-gen version coming for Fallout 4? I thought they were going to shadow drop that on us. That was one of the rumors at the time. Didn't happen. I thought this was it, but this is actually an update for Fallout 76 called Atlantic City. My guess is it's an expedition, like the pit, but Fallout 76 still getting updates to the game.
Yeah, but I don't know. I was a little upset with the way they tacked it on at the end. They kind of just threw it in there. You know what I mean?
You're right. You're right.
And is so they kind of just threw it on top. It's like, oh, also, you're still playing these? Here you go.
It was hard because it's such a stacked showcase, and you only get so much time. But I felt like they could have done. Most of that trailer was like, this is the Fallout 76 in general, all the things that you can do. Oh, and also at the end, it's Atlantic City. I felt like they could have shown that off a little bit more and made us a bit more excited.
Yeah.
Next up, we have Forza Motorsport, by the way. Oh, sorry, you were saying something?
I still am excited for the 76. I think it might be time to dust off the old boots because I haven't played it for a little bit. It might be time to dust off the boots and get back in there and start punching on with things.
Well, your character's all set up. I set your character up for you. You still got the Deathcore gauntlet I gave you.
Mate, he's got... That was years ago at this point, though. He's got to be outdated. He's got to be... He's
probably...
Yeah, I feel like he's dropped off the gradient a little bit, so we're going to have to spruce him up a bit.
Next up, we had a trailer for Forza Motorsport. These always look good, always look clean, look better than the last somehow. I used to be really into racing games, not so much now anymore, but Rob, anything to say about Forza Motorsport?
It looks gorgeous. That's all I can say. I saw a guy... Yeah. I don't know if it was the Forza one, but he was playing with a steering wheel and he had blinkers, like there were indicators, and he was like going in and out of traffic. I don't know if that was Forza he was playing. It looked very, I think it was similar.
Forza. I think I've seen that exact dude. It's one of the guys. It's actually a thing on TikTok and YouTube Shorts where they'll like start super far behind the pack and then they'll catch up in this awesome sports car. I think I've seen that guy. He's like literally weaving in and out of traffic, going under trucks and shit. That was very cool.
With indicators, like using these indicators. Like I just thought that was such a cool thing. And
it was very cool.
Just seeing it with the steering wheel and the gear shifts, like I don't know, it looked pretty cool. Yeah.
So speaking of Elder Scrolls Online Necrom, that update was the trailer for it came out. It's going to be released June 20. They do the split between console and PC always comes first. New class for the Arcanist. Rob, I know you're probably going to be jumping into Necrom. What do you think?
Yeah, I got to. I've been waiting. So I've been holding off the last couple months because I wanted some new blood in the game to really spice me up. I was thinking, and once they told us that we were getting the Arcanist, I was like, gotta wait and see. But in saying that, okay, I've been waiting to make a new class for the Arcanist that's come on. I want to make a Dragon Knight. I just want to make a normal dude that's been in the game forever. Like I just want to make another one. But
fair enough.
Yeah, I'm excited. I love it when they drop these new classes because it just changes the PvP system entirely. There's going to be new metas. There's going to be new builds. They're going to drop a whole new item block with this next class. There's going to be so many balancing that's going to be needed. That's going to have to be done.
Yeah,
Necrom's going to be. I can only assume it's going to be super overpowered when it first comes out. So it might be fun to get in there, rush your class up, just run into the battlefield and start absolutely nuking people. But yeah, no, it looks interesting for sure.
It's going to be cool. Next one we had Overwatch 2 Invasion. I just want to say I don't know why they're doing Overwatch 2. I don't know why they didn't just stick with Overwatch 1. What did you think, Rob? Were you ever into Overwatch at all?
I was not. I was not.
Yeah, there's a big uproar at the moment about Overwatch, and they're selling segments of the story. Very weird. Let us know in the comments below if you're excited for Overwatch 2, but not
sounds
for us.
like a cash grab, to be honest.
Yeah. But here we go, Rob. This is what you're really excited about. I love Keanu Reeves so much, and I know I need to play Cyberpunk 2077, but Phantom Liberty is coming to Cyberpunk 2077. What do you think, man?
Mate, me and everybody else have been waiting for so long. I have to say, Cyberpunk, the launch.
Yeah.
It was rough. It was rough, but I'll give it. They never gave up, and they kept updating to the point where the game is clean. It is like a different game if you were to jump into it now. But for me, I personally loved it. Okay, like I fell into a big rabbit hole of my character and just couldn't put it down. But the replayability for me just wasn't there at that time. There was nothing driving me to make a new character, and this is it. Phantom Liberty, I cannot wait. It is the last DLC, the first and last, I should say. I think it'll come with the last set of patches for it as well. So
that's kind of sad.
That's very sad, because I have heard they're looking to make a new Cyberpunk game. You know, that's where they're going to direct their attention. So it's sad that this is it for the game. But I assume, because this is it for the game, that we will get not only closure on the ending. Yeah. So I'm not going to give any spoilers away, but I hope they elaborate more on that, because there's like 7 different endings or something like that. But also just because I want to go in there and make a new character and just see what the fully fleshed out 2023 version of the game is like from start to finish.
Next up, man, this game I'm so excited for. Clockwork Revolution. I thought I was looking at a sequel for BioShock Infinite, and I'm a huge BioShock fan. This looked freaking gorgeous, dude. And Exile is back. What did you think?
It looked very BioShocky.
Yeah, and I'm all for it. Some people were complaining about that. The devs were getting criticized. I was like, give me more of this. I loved BioShock Infinite. This is looking. We don't have much info about it, but in Exile, very very experienced developer. I'm so pumped for this game. I think it looks beautiful.
I thought you would like it. It's not really up my alley. Wasn't a big fan of BioShock either. I don't like games where they kind of have to. Generally, I want to say generally, where the story is very linear, and I have to kind of just go with the story because that is the experience. But
I feel you.
Yeah, it looks good.
But then, Rob, to end off the show, Starfield Direct showed us 45 minutes of this freaking game. Every time that I thought they were done, they kept going, and there was more gameplay. They showed us bits about combat, about character creation and character building and leveling up, about building bases, all the cool spaceships that you can build, everything. They went into so much detail about this game. I think they sold this game to everybody that had any kind of doubts. What a great job they did.
Anybody who watched that part of the showcase is going to buy Starfield now. I believe Starfield is going to be what Skyrim did when it launched way back when.
Yeah.
It's going to become an icon for the genre. It has character customization. It has character trait building so that
backgrounds,
the type of character you play as affects how people interact with you throughout the universe, because there are multiple planets, multiple civilizations, cities and buildings, and seamless flying up into space with your ship and landing on it with aliens and random other stuff. And like the character customization numbers are through the roof. You can do anything you want. The way that you play the game is up to you. Like, you can follow story missions, side missions, explore, become a pirate. That's what sucked me in. They said you can become a pirate, jump in, shoot people down,
ships,
dock on people's ships, shoot them, take their stuff and leave, take their ship, sell their ship. Like, Mate, it honestly, and the combat system looks like it's the Bethesda combat system we want.
Yeah.
So improved. It looks fast paced. It looks clean.
Yeah.
Oh, mate, it looks like if the fans of games who like games like us with open world, with customization, like the fans of Fallout and fans of Skyrim, if we all got together and we said, okay, we're making a space game, no worries. Can we have this? Can we have this? Can we have this? And they said,
and they added everything.
You can have all of that. You can have all that. You want random NPCs to be your friends, to make relationships. On this planet, on that planet too, why not? Are they different? It's like, oh mate, it looks.
Dude.
Oh. I got upset watching it because I know I have to wait for it to be released.
Yeah, we still got a few months, but I'm so glad that they released all this. And it's not even, Rob, like, it's not just the amount of content. As you said, there's so much stuff. It's like 6 games in one, right? But it's also the subtle details that, like, they're real. Like, Bethesda, they like their little details. Small things like your robot companion, no matter what name you choose, can say your name because it's using AI to generate that. When you're on a planet, the moons are orbiting in real time. There's global illumination with the lighting, so it changes in real time. And if you want to go and land on that moon, you can go land on that moon. And there was one, Todd was talking about it, where he was like, once a spaceship landed on a planet, started attacking me, I went onto the spaceship to kill them, and then it took off without me knowing. So then he was in space fighting the pirates.
That is unbelievable. The amount of adventures and stories that are going to come from this. I am so excited, and
legit game of the year contender for sure.
I think so. It's going to take the world by storm, and I say the world because much like a lot of the other big titles that came, it's going to create a new space in the gaming world when it touches down, and I cannot wait.
It's going to be sick. And very quickly, we will talk about Ubisoft Forward. They announced a new Avatar game, Frontiers of Pandora. Look, I'm not an Avatar fan, but this looked like the most beautiful game in the world that I've ever seen in my life. It was colorful. It looked like it ran really well. It was probably just Far Cry reskinned, but I thought Ubisoft did a great job with this trailer.
Mate, another open world.
I know, you're right. It's the trend.
2023 open world. My kids cannot wait for Avatar.
Yeah.
And it looks gorgeous. It looks like the perfect game to let them play as well, where they can just run around.
It does. Yeah.
Do whatever they want. Attack the wildlife, whatever. whatever kids do, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I thought that was really good. And then Prince of Persia as well, seeing a return, The Lost Crown. Not what a lot of people expected because it is that kind of 2D style game. But 2D. I still think, not 2D, but you know what I mean? It's not like an Assassin's Creed style game, you know what I mean? The art style, the style of the game, people were a little bit disappointed by it. But I still thought it looked cool, you know? Looked flashy.
It looks kind of like a mobile game.
look. I
many mobile games this year.
Side scroller is the proper word I was thinking about. I still thought it looked fun for a side scroller. Maybe I'll play it. I'm a huge fan of Prince of Persia.
I was never into any of the Prince of Persias.
Yeah,
like any of them.
Well, were you into Assassin's Creed? Because we're talking about that next.
Negative. I've never been able to get into them.
So
I've
I will say
tried
this
multiple times.
Right? They showed some gameplay for Assassin's Creed Mirage. If there was any Assassin's Creed game that you should try and see whether it's for you, it is this one. Because this one, it's going back to the roots from like the first original titles, really focusing on stealth and parkour and assassination and investigation. It's a much smaller experience, like 15 to 20 hours. They want to tell a really, really good story. But I'm really excited for Assassin's Creed Mirage. I think this is the franchise going back to what it did so well many, many years ago.
Yeah, I don't know, but I will think about it. Again, still the VR headsets that the kids put in, like you're not really playing as the assassins. You're playing some dude in a tube.
Well, they had the VR there as well. That kind of looked cool. Like you get to be an assassin in first person. I thought Nexus VR looked sick. To be fair. But that was pretty much it, Rob, from the Ubisoft Forward, from Xbox. There was a lot of games, so I apologize if we couldn't spend too much time on all of them. But next segment that we have, what we're watching, playing.
What do you think? What do you think about the Xbox showcase in comparison to the PS5, to Sony's
smashed
launch?
Destroyed them.
You reckon?
Left them in the dust.
I feel like Xbox had some real heavy hitting titles this year.
And usually, man, I'm not a fanboy. I've got a PlayStation 5. I've got my PC in front of me. But last year, Sony took the crown. They took the W. This year, it was Xbox. Xbox delivered and then some. How can you compete with a 45-minute Starfield Direct trailer? No one did what Bethesda Game Studios did.
But, maybe that was... they knew. Sony knew. Maybe that was just part of the ploy. Yes, because you don't know these big companies. These things they have a staff of 20 guys just trying to put this together. $1 billion companies. You know what I mean? They know that Xbox had a 45-minute footage of gameplay value of Starfield, the biggest title that is. Honestly, to come out this year, realistically. So what do you do when you're in the shoes of PlayStation, I guess?
You can't do anything. You show Spider-Man and hopefully Spider-Man catches people's attention. And which, to be fair, it'll sell
Spider-Man. She shows Spider-Man. And Final Fantasy, dude. Final Fantasy.
I'm trying so hard to get us codes for that game. I'm trying so hard.
Have you seen the gameplay footage on that?
Did you play the demo?
No, I didn't play the demo, but I watched.
As a demo, bro, you should play the demo.
I watched the dev play it, and you can parry. You can perfect parry fights, dude. It's like a one-on-one.
Yeah.
Like hack and slash, but with your tactical wheel in the corner.
Play the demo, man. I'm telling you right now. You should.
Built on your icons. It looks so wild, dude.
Yeah.
So wild.
I think it's going to be a very, very fun game. I hope that we can get our hands on the codes for it, and then we'll talk about it in that week's podcast.
Definitely. I'm excited.
Yeah. But what we're playing, it has been a busy week. I'll be honest with this. I'm not playing anything. I haven't touched a single game. I'm still watching Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. It's still very, very good. I'm very into it. Tonight I'm going to watch a little bit more before bed. But that is honestly it for me. I've been so busy making YouTube videos and watching all these showcases. What about you, man?
Yeah. Mate, and understandably, you've been busy. You the showcases that launch are massive, and then you trying to put a video, especially because the big titles like Starfield got launched.
And dude, they were 1 a.m. our time. So I tell you how it went down, right? So the first up Xbox showcase, I live streamed it. I had a 2-hour nap from 7 to 9. Got up, couldn't sleep anymore. Streamed from 1 a.m. to 5 a.m. Made a video and got to bed at 8 a.m., 8:30, and then went to sleep. Woke up, couldn't go back to sleep, and I did it all again with the Ubisoft Forward. I actually went into the city to a viewing party at Fortress Sydney. And again, I didn't get home until 5 a.m., and then I went to bed.
What's Fortress like? I haven't been yet.
It's fine. It's fine. I like it that it's a spot where everyone in our kind of circle just say, yeah, let's go to Fortress, right? And it's an easy one. The best thing about it is the tavern that they have there. You can just go there, have a drink. Kind of looks cool. They have switches and stuff set up that you can play if you want to. They have an arcade there. Everything's too expensive to play. The Dragon Punch machine's like $2 a punch. It's insane. I think it's okay. And then if you want to play some games on the PCs there, you can too as well. But I don't really do that. So I think it's fine.
I think I'm going to take my kids there. My kids are gamers, so I think it'll blow their minds.
Oh, it will. No, they will be like, whoa, like all these cool computers mounted onto the walls and the arcade as well. They'll love it.
I'm going to have to start saving up.
$2 a punch on the freaking Dragon Punch, man. Honestly.
What have I been playing or watching or reading? I haven't been reading anything. I've been waiting for the next books to come out for some series. And I just can't be bothered looking for a new one because you got to scroll through Amazon forever. Yeah. I'm not really watching anything either. I'm watching that cute one the love story one on Crunchyroll, but that's about it. Haven't had a lot of time to watch. Much like yourself, very busy, been heavy in camp, like 3 and a bit weeks till I leave, which means it's only about a week and a half till I fly out. So really just wrapping up the training here and wrapping up the work, like everything that's got to be done before I leave the country, like meds, bloods, MRIs, MRAs, get this form, visas, all that sort of jazz. Media commitments, sponsor commitments, all cram-packed in between the sessions before I fly out. So been doing that. But I have been playing Diablo 4.
Yes. All right. What do you think? What have you been thinking?
Mate, it's received like 9 hot fixes. My barb's been nerfed twice since I started playing it. Like I start farming a dungeon and then it gets nerfed 2 hours later. So like every time without fail. But it's fun. Honestly though, like it feels very much like the previous one. Yeah. In a sense that it's just like the progression and the gameplay loop is very much the same. You get stronger, you go in, you smash stuff. Eventually you get better gear. You put said gear on and then go smash more stuff to get more gear. And then you just slowly progress. You get some braces that deal 11% more damage to stunned units, so you put them on. Then you start building your character around stun, and then you just keep your eye out for gear that helps stun damage, and then you just work on that gimmick until you hit a point where you got to start affixing your gear. It feels like the gameplay loop is much the same as any ARPG you've ever played before, but it is much better. I find it is a better version of all of that. I feel like getting around is nicer with a horse. It's pretty cool. Yeah. Seeing people running around is pretty cool. Yeah. I like the skills and the way you can build your character around different things. I think that's cool. I think the loot is cool and the way you get said loot is cool. I think the bosses and the world bosses are pretty cool. World bosses are a pretty cool experience. Camera zooms out. It's like 10 of you around the base of some big dude. Yep. Yeah, I'm enjoying it. I'm really enjoying it. I haven't touched Zelda, but I think
there's too many games to play. That's the problem. Like,
bro, no. The thing is, I'm just not a Zelda fan. Like, I tried to do it for you,
not for you. And I appreciate you. I appreciate that you tried.
Oh, stop breaking my damn weapons! Like, give me something to repair them. And before everyone in the comments said, "Oh, you can feed it to the octopus." I know you can once every red moon. Well, like,
that's not reliable to repair your. That's silly. Yeah.
No, dude, it's like, but I can see the appeal of it. It's a cool game. But Diablo 4, absolutely nailing it. Nice. Play that in my spare time.
Nice. And
that's about it.
You'll probably be playing that when you go overseas on, like, to unwind a little bit. Playing some Diablo on your laptop.
That and my Ragnarok server. I'm still playing that as well because that's a Ragnarok forever, mate.
All the time. And then
always.
Last segment, we got viewer questions. If you want us to answer your questions, please leave them in the comments. We try to answer as many as we can. First up, we've got Naibi asking, question for Rob. What of your last contender fights was the hardest? From Cannonier, Vettori, Till, and Gastelum. Which one was your hardest? They're
Till.
all straight killers, by the way, but Till?
Yeah, I think Till was my hardest just because like he was a good striker, he was good evading shots. He was crafty with the way he would land shots. And he was a good southpaw. So I think Till.
I remember very distinctly after that fight, you and Till were just chatting and you were just like it was. I think you said something like it was like a game of chess. He was so tactical. It was such a tactical fight. I remember that distinctly.
We were just waiting for each other. One of us just to make the wrong move.
Yeah. No, that definitely sounds right. One quick one from me from Jot Div. Thoughts on Wyden leaving, Johnny? He only is asking that because I wore my Canberra Raiders jumper last week. I'm very sad. All right. I'm very sad that he's leaving us and going to the Rabbitohs. Screw the Rabbitohs. Next question we have is Real Cap 1. Question for the both of you. The most underrated game you guys have ever played?
Ooh.
I've got one if you need time to think about it. Titanfall 2. If anyone hasn't played Titanfall 2 and is a fan of first-person shooters, play the story. It is an excellent story. It's a fantastic first-person shooter, and it gets lost in the sea of many other FPSs out there. It's genuinely one of the greatest FPS stories of our generation. Incredibly good game, and I'm very sad we don't have Titanfall 3.
I thought when Titanfall first launched, I thought it was so cool. I never got into the games, but I thought it was so cool that you summon your robot, get your robot down. But ultimately I just wanted an armor core where I could run around as well. But
makes sense.
Most underrated game. I had it on the tip of my tongue a second ago, and underrated, man, this is tough. I'm gonna go with Demon Souls on the PS5.
Oh, like the remade one?
Yeah, on the PS5.
I started playing that, Rob, and I dropped it, but I really want to give it a go.
Dude, like, it is so clean. It is such a beautiful game to see. They like the graphics. They really, really just oh, mate, it is so pretty gorgeous to look at. It is so clean to play. Yeah. And I don't generally like playing consoles. I like playing on the PC. But for the leg of Demon Souls, I played on my PS5. So,
Next question we have from JR. Question for you both. Favorite boss battle of all time? Another one of those hard questions.
Oh, man.
But
in what sense, though? You know what I mean?
Oh, like just your favorite. Doesn't have to be like, it doesn't even have to be memorable objectively, but one that just sits with you, that's your favorite. I would say for me, it would be Zelda Ocarina of Time when you fight Ganondorf, because the way that they built to it, where you're climbing the castle and the music is playing where he's on the piano or whatever, and then you get up there and it's epic, and it just, you fight him, you're hitting back the energy balls, and then you think you kill him, and then he comes back as Ganon and in his beast form after the castle's been destroyed. You have to escape the castle so good, so iconic. I always think that's my favorite boss battle anytime someone asks a question. So that's it for me.
Oh, mate, this is so hard.
It's a hard one.
So hard. Honestly, I'm gonna go with Final Fantasy X. I'm gonna go. It's a bit of a chain. It's the last chain of fights as you leave when you fight. I don't really want to give spoilers, but you fight a lot of people. You fight. The fights are really cool. The right at the end when you're fighting Sin, the big bad, and all the story that's led up to this point, and finding out what Sin is and who Sin is. Have you played Final Fantasy X?
I have not. No.
Oh man, anyway, Sin comes back every so many years and he starts killing everything. All right.
Yeah.
So a summoner is formed. She gets her guardians, and then she goes and does away with it. Okay, so you go on this big quest around everywhere, do all the bits and bobs, right, sides and whatnot. You get up, big fight, you find out what Sin actually is, why it's there, why it's happening, who it is. Nice. And that sequence of fights up until, the climax of the story is like pretty special. It is pretty unreal. Anyone who's played Final Fantasy X, shout out. Comment down below and back me up here, guys, because it is a pretty special piece.
Sweet. And then the last question that we have is from NCR Ranger. Either of you played Dead Space? I just got the recent remake and it's fucking great. Rob, have you played Dead Space?
I have. But I'm not one of the cult members that Dead Space has.
Feels a little bit like that. I haven't played the remake yet, but I played the first, and I really want to play the remake to give it another go. I really enjoyed Dead Space. I thought it was a cool game. Some of the combat sequences and boss fights were but I thought it was still fun. I always like those kinds of games.
Yeah, I'm not big into horror games. I used to be when I was younger, but not so much anymore. Hey, did you ever play the horror game called The Thing?
The Thing? No.
Yeah.
The Thing game.
Yeah, let me see if it is
on like
what I'm thinking of.
on PC.
Like the movie.
Oh yeah, I see gameplay for it.
Yeah,
I
bro.
never
Oh,
played
my
it,
goodness.
but it kind of looks creepy.
Bro. So again, if you have played the thing, or if you played the thing, comment down below and back me up here. Actually, any one of our listeners, if you can, back me up. Always
Do it.
Say, yeah, Rob's right. Comment down below. I agree with Rob on this.
Even
point.
if you haven't played the game, just do it.
The thing was terrifying. It had a mechanic in it, so it's similar to like Alien, right? Where the face huggers, they jump on you and they lay an egg in you, and you don't know he's infected until he bursts out of his stomach, right? It had the same sort of mechanic where there are aliens in this abandoned ice base, and you have about 3 or 4 companions, but you got to keep an eye on them because you fight aliens and whatnot, and you're trying to work your way throughout the facility. And you got to keep an eye on them, though, because you don't know. At any one point, they could become infected, and you don't know which one is infected. You can't really tell. They don't let you know. You can see their heart rates, or you can see how they're feeling, and you kind of just go, because if they go on you, they turn into these abominations out of nowhere and just backstab the hell out of you.
Sounds cool.
It was terrifying. Terrifying, mate.
Yeah, I do like horror games. I love games like Amnesia. I love games like Resident Evil. So it sounds like something I'd enjoy. But how would you play it now? Yeah, is it still on Steam? Maybe
I don't know.
Oh,
and
I'm gonna
if it
find
is, it's gonna look like Lego. But
nah, it's not. Unfortunately,
but it was terrifying.
Yeah. But that was it. That's the last question that I had. That is episode 14 of Ham. I almost said Ham Radio Podcast. That was my old podcast that I used to do. Of MMArcade.
Tired, dude.
It's been a long week, Rob. It has been very, very long.
You're tired, mate. Get some sleep.
When I went to work this week, everyone was like, "Hey, Johnny, you got some bags under your eyes." And thanks for pointing it out. I'm exhausted. I love being told that.
Yeah, you should have said, "What do you mean?"
Yeah.
Well, this is the best I've ever felt.
I feel awesome. It's hard to hide it when your eyes are doing that, right? It's
in the body language.
100%.
Listeners at home, thank you very much for tuning into another one. Please subscribe, like, and hit the bell icon.
Absolutely.
Leave a comment down below with any sort of suggestions or opinions of the cast, because you've probably noticed by now we try to build what you want into the podcast. We use your opinions, your questions, what you want to listen to and hear as fuel to create what we do. And hope you enjoy. Couldn't do this without you. Spread it. Spread the word. Spread the good word. Share it to your friends.
Do it. And we'll see you next time, all right? Take care of yourselves.
See you next week. Peace.